I'm at the Jump Hangar in Utah, which is the world's first wingsuit flying simulator. And it's where you and I can experience jumping off a cliff and flying without dying.
Oh, fuck.
Becoming a certified wingsuit pilot is expensive. You have to do probably 200 jumps to become a certified skydiver, and the cost of then starting the base jumping is going to be another $10,000 or $15,000. So all in, you're probably looking at between 15 and 30 grand to become a wingsuit pilot. Jump, you can experience the magic of flight for about $100. Now there's no reason to risk your life and spend tens of thousands of dollars becoming a wingsuit pilot. So let's meet the founder and CEO, James Jensen.
Come here. Dude. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. James has been really generous and kind of had a couple of conversations about where this is going, but this has been a couple of years. How long have you been working on this?
End of 2019 is when we started.
Thanks for doing this, man.
You're welcome. I'm excited to bring it to the world.
I've been following Jump's journey from idea to reality for several years. I interviewed James on the Being Virtual show in 2020 when it was still just a concept. James was inspired by Marshall Miller, founding member of the GoPro Bomb Squad, one of the top wingsuit flying teams in the world. James' experience creating The Void convinced him he could create a realistic simulation using virtual reality that would eliminate the costs and risks of wingsuit flying.
That would be an amazing experience to be able to jump in wingsuit and know what that feels like. I was just like, I'm never gonna feel that. Like, I have 5 kids. It's not possible for me to do that in reality unless I completely diverted my life and was okay with dying, which I'm not okay with. And so it was this kind of one-up thing that we were doing with videos, and that one-up thing turned into a conversation about, hey, maybe we could actually pull off a hyper-reality type of experience for wingsuit and base jumping. There's a lot of pieces that match up inside of a simulation. There's natural pressure that's on your chest from a wingsuit when you're flying. All you need is wind, and we could do the suspension and wind system, and it turned into sketches, and the sketches turned into 3D drawings, and then we worked out all the business mechanics, and now we're here.
Yeah, wow. So how many jumps have you done now?
At least 180.
Are you thinking about the real thing?
No, I don't need to do the real thing. I have a memory of it already, and I can fly interior in safety all day, every day.
Do you think this becomes a path for people, like if they want to train to be able to do it at some point?
I didn't used to think that, but more and more I'm thinking, yeah. So my buddy Marshall, that is part of this project, he saw me flying a really cool line in there. I was flying through this gap that we found. And he's like, oh, that's the sickest line. That's so cool. I've never even seen that before. And he was just congratulating me, telling me it was awesome. And then he sends me a video a week later of him at Notch Peak flying the same line. He flew the same line. I'm like, dude, you can't go fly that line. I crashed like 10 times trying to do that. But he's way better at it than me.
Hey, Matthew. Wow, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you kind of unlock things, right?
Yeah.
He was seeing things you've never seen before because you've never, you can't experiment. Like, you do safe things in reality where, I'm flying like all over the place, and I'm asking Hartman, our professional wingsuit guy that programmed all the physics, like, are the physics real? Because I'm doing this crazy thing in here, and could I do that in reality? He's like, yeah, you could do that in reality, but nobody would because it's insane.
Yeah.
It's too sketchy. It's too sketchy to do that. Like, you don't try things.
Act 1 at Jump is getting geared up. After an instructional video, you put on a real wingsuit, specially designed by Squirrel, the world's leading wingsuit designer. The process of putting on the suit really gets you into the spirit of the jump. It feels real because it is real. The next step is walking into the jump bay.
This thing's really heavy. I feel like I'm scuba diving.
You are kind of scuba diving.
This is where you put on the Jump VR helmet and they put on your parachute. Well, it's not really a parachute, it's a special connection to a highly sophisticated hydraulic system that enables you to fly safely and really feel both the wingsuit part and the parachute part that really immerses you.
Oh, fuck.
Your skydive was a little rough. How did you do in the canyon?
Yeah, I think it was better in the canyon. I think I was going backwards. My heart's racing. I'm really curious to see what my watch says my heart rate
Let's
is.
see what it says.
Yeah, 85.
Nice.
My guess is it was up over 100. My resting heart rate's about like 60, 65. So I would love to do that again now that I actually...
You should do it again.
I would love to do
We
it
can
again.
just put you right back in if you want. If you'd like to get a drink, I can get you a drink real quick.
No.
No, you good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. I love it. Oh, it's second time.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, fuck.
This is the beginning, Bob. Like I'm telling you, this is like the void in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I know
I
it
see
looks
it.
pretty and everything, but I'm telling you, like for me, this is like 40% done.
Yeah, but you can totally see the potential. Woo! Jumping the second time was pretty easy. The first time was harder. I was like, oh, fuck, jumping out of the airplane. I think having Marshall there follow me, like that gives you that sense of comfort, like direction to go.
Right.
The first one's kind of on you. And it's like, yeah, whenever you're ready, jump.
Yeah,
I'm
go
like,
for
oh,
it,
fuck,
figure it
what do you mean? Like, really? So the second time, the jumping was a lot easier. But you definitely, that first moment, you know, I don't know if you've talked about this, like why you named it jump, like that, there's that moment of truth.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you're gonna trust that this thing works or trust that you can do it and overcome everything your brain is telling you, which is don't fucking do it, and then you have to do it anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So good.
Virtual reality lets us create our own stories. And every great story needs three parts: the setup, the conflict, and the resolution, or act 1, 2, and 3. Now, virtual reality is positioned to become the enabling technology for the transformation economy. And Jump is one of the first location-based VR experiences that really demonstrates that possibility. I love that Jump doesn't just dump people into the parking lot after they're done like a lot of virtual reality experiences do. One of the most important parts of a transformational experience is reflection and integration of that experience into your psyche. And so Jump has created a room specifically for that, where all the post-flight pilots get together. They can rewatch their lines and flights. They can watch those of their friends, and they can just sit around, have a drink, and talk about what that experience meant to them. It's so powerful. Now, Jump is yet to incorporate Unreal Engine 5, which will really ramp up the pixel count and the realism of that experience dramatically. The custom Jump helmet is built using the Valve Index, which I think is about a 1600 DPI resolution. Now, it'll eventually upgrade to one of the new 4K headsets, or maybe even 5K like the HTC Vive Pro 2. And the combination of a higher res headset and the Unreal 5 engine is going to create a realistic, almost a photorealistic experience for people. Now, the team at Jump is still working on the overall customer experience. A more realistic Jump Bay is going to make that transition from the physical to the virtual a little bit less jarring. And additional haptics are coming, like vibration to increase the realism when you're in the airplane, and sense to simulate like a pine forest as you get close to the trees when you're flying, and maybe even hoop if you get too close to the trees. No, that's a bad idea. Eventually, pilots are going to be able to see their telemetry data about their flight, and they're going to get video replays of their line. Now, obviously, that's going to lead to social media sharing, which is free advertising for Jump, but it's also going to deliver the tools pilots need to really improve their skills. Now, something to be seen is what percentage of flyers are going to commit to their progression to getting better and leveling up. Jump already offers an in-depth, persistent profile for each and every customer, and they're investing heavily into building features that will reward repeat jumpers, like the clout discount system, which I'm really happy to see. Within 4 jumps, pilots can earn a 50% discount, and they can share that discount if they bring their friends. Now, as the time increases between jumps, the discount shrinks. I love how they're testing the concept that discounted pricing can drive repeat visitation. I know a lot of operators believe that. We haven't actually proven that that's true yet, so I'm going to be watching carefully to see what Jump does in this area. Now, James commented in my interview with him that he sees the current Jump experience at about 40% developed. I can't wait to see where he and his team take this. It's definitely worth a trip out to Salt Lake City if you're in the area. You can check out Jump online at www.limitlessflight.com. And as always, if you have questions or comments, you can reach out to me at bobcooney.com or via email at vrbob@bobcooney.com. I look forward to seeing you on the next Being Virtual show.